Hey guys, Gordon J. Wallace here, sales rep with Remax Real Estate Center in Cambridge. I just want to do a follow-up on Friday since it is almost the end of the standard work week. It's about 12:45 right now. So again, just want to look at how many active listings there are still that have been active for the last 5 days here in Waterloo region. We're seeing 168. So you see in the last today and yesterday, 36 so far. And we're up to 11 so far for today. So lots of new properties still coming on the market. As I've done all week, I want to sort of compare that to how many properties have become suspended or canceled in the last 5 days. And again, we want to focus on those properties that just came on the market in that same time period. So we can see that 13 went up and then have come down since that time frame. So still relatively strong health in terms of new listings hitting the market. Showings are down across the board. There's an interesting graphic from Showing Time, which is one of the leaders in showing software across both US and Canada. There's a number of different companies that do it, but they're one of the big ones. So they had a pretty interesting graphic that showed sort of week over week showings, and then when everything happened, it kind of fell down. So obviously sellers are still having confidence in the market, even with the severe decrease in in-person showings. OREA and Creel, as I mentioned before, have both kind of given us direction not to host open houses. So, you've got all the virtual tours, floor plans, and photos online, like I said. You can still do in-person viewings if you need to, and there are people that need to. So I know a lot of people have strong opinions about this one way or the other. So if you're not in the situation where you need to, fantastic, stay home, stay healthy. If you do find yourself in a situation where you need to go out and view a home in person, let's talk about the precautions that can be taken for that. Latex gloves, hand sanitizer, keeping distance, not touching surfaces, all the same things they recommend you do when you go to, say, the grocery store. Okay. That being said, if you have questions about what is open or what's not open, or you think something should or should not be open, the Ontario government has published their list of essential workplaces during this pandemic or crisis. So you can take a look through here. I posted some of these earlier in the week in terms of the real estate related ones, but if you have questions about your business, if you're a small business owner or an independent owner, and you have questions about whether or not your operation can stay open, you can check this list here, and they've opened up this 1-800 line for you to call as well. So if you have questions about your specific business and you'd like to get clarity, there's a number for you there. Other big news today, interest rate announcement again. They typically do 8 announcements a year, and their last one was in March. The last planned one was in March 12th, I believe. March 4th, there it is. And they've made 2 additional announcements this month. So this is pretty unheard of and pretty unprecedented. And they've dropped the target rate another half point, which is quite remarkable. Quite remarkable they did a half point in the first place, and to do 2 more unexpected full half point drops is quite astonishing. So expect the big banks and lenders to adjust their prime rates in the coming days. They don't necessarily follow this in lockstep. The last time there was a big drop in 2017, the bank went down a quarter point. The prime rates from the banks went down 0.15 instead of 0.25. So I don't know that I would expect it to go the full half point again, although I said that last time and was wrong. So just keep an eye out for that. Don't borrow more than you need to. Just good advice in general. And for the mortgage deferral programs that a lot of lenders are having, make sure you understand the pros and cons of those platforms. There's no such thing as free money, so it will cost you something. Just make sure that it's the right decision for you and that you're not just taking it because it's being offered. And again, my advice for renters is that, if you're having troubles or you foresee yourself having troubles meeting your rent obligations, talk to your landlords, okay? Most of the time, you're renting off, if you're renting a house especially, you're renting off an individual in most cases where that's, only their maybe first or second income property, where they are actually requiring, or not requiring, they're actually relying on the income from you to pay their day-to-day bills as well. Most landlords are not going to be these heartless corporations that you can just, I'm not going to pay my rent and they'll be fine because they've got a big bank account, big balance. Regardless of who your landlord is, not paying your rent without having an agreement in place to allow for that is going to hurt you in the long run, whether it be through lack of reference when you go to move, whether it be from hit to your credit score, should it go, to that extreme. So, everybody's situation is different and everybody's trying to figure this out as they go along. So best advice I can give you is just talk to whoever you need to. Again, for my clients, I've called your lawyers, I've called your lenders and verified that everybody's still on track. If you're not a client of mine, but you have a closing coming up and you're watching this, just make sure you reach out to your agent or your mortgage person or your lawyer to make sure that A, they're open and doing business, and B, how are they open and doing business? If you're the type of person that wants to go sit down face-to-face to sign documents, that might need to change. So just make sure you're aware of what the services your particular firm are offering and how you're going to be able to complete your obligations. The one thing that all the lawyers are quite clear about is that the crisis is not a get out of jail free card, for lack of a better term, to walk away from any transaction. You're still obligated to follow through with everything that's currently pending. That is a whole lot longer than I wanted to make the video. I tend to ramble, so I apologize. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or text 226-218-0433. Email at gordon@callcambridgehome.com. And thanks so much for watching.